The Brian Lara Cricket Academy was unofficially, or there was a symbolic handover last Friday, but this Friday we're dealing with the real deal. And to speak about it, we have Mr. Anthony Blake, Event Logistics, as well as Mr. Kairon Serrette, Event Communications, both of them the Local Organising Committee of the Brian Lara Cricket Academy. Good morning, gentlemen.
Morning. Good morning.
Now, the official opening, when does it happen?
So the official opening is on the 12th. That's Friday this week. The event starts at 6 p.m. The gates will be open from 3 p.m. in the afternoon.
Now, we get tickets for this, but I've heard that you can actually get them from NLCB Lotto outlets, so you have no excuse for missing your ticket.
That is correct. That is so correct. So tickets are available at all NLCB Lotto outlets, Lotto and Playway outlets. Tickets are priced reasonably at $100. The LOC would have considered having the best turnout possible at the venue. We want to start this the management of this venue on a good foot also.
What kind of capacity are we looking at?
We're looking at 15,000 maximum capacity at the venue.
And so that raises the possibility for a lot of cars.
Yes, so we've made special parking arrangements at the venue because we know that the safety of our patrons and their cars is paramount to the LOC. What we've done is have parking arrangements at the Manny Ramjohn Stadium. We have a park and ride service available from 4 p.m. from Manny Ramjohn, and that will operate throughout the event.
All right, now, Karen, let me bring you in here. Now, the event on Friday, what is the main thrust of it apart from just officially opening the academy?
Well, it's really supposed to be a celebration of cricketing icon Brian Lara. I'm sure everyone would know when he would have scored the 400. You know, there's a period of time after that when the government of the day decided that they need to celebrate this champion of Trinidad and Tobago, and that is when the discussions with the academy would have started. You know, it would have taken some time to come to pass, but now this event on Friday is the commemoration of the academy, and this is what we want to do. We want to really celebrate Brian Lara with this event.
Who are some of the people or dignitaries who are going to be there to help with that celebration?
In terms of the players or just in
players, people in government, this administration?
Well, I mean, it's a national event, so we have sent out invitations to you know, all members of government, right? Because I said it's something for Trinidad and Tobago, so we're going to have members of parliament, you know, mayors, you know, that whole thing, all those persons, past sportsmen and women. Because it's a cricket academy, we want persons, because we're also celebrating the fact that a cricket academy is the first time it's, you know, something like this is happening in Trinidad and Tobago. So people involved in education and sport, because this is meant to nurture and develop young athletes, marrying both education and sport, so that they could be better at that level, at that elite level, and represent Trinidad and themselves better.
In terms of cultural performances, who are some of the people we're going to be seeing?
Yes, so while the cricket itself starts from 7 p.m., we will have an opening show that starts from 6. We're going to have, I believe it's Ravi B. We're also going to have the Shiv Sakti dancers. We're going to have a number of local artists on the program going forward. We're going to have Trinidad and Tobago's culture on display, because as Kairon said, it's not only a celebration of the opening academy, but a celebration of Brian's achievement and the culture of Trinidad and Tobago.
Going back to the fact that 15,000 people parking, are there procedures and logistics in place to ensure that people don't park on the highway? Because I'm sure you don't want people parking on the highway.
Yes, definitely. So the LOC has been in constant contact with the relevant authorities, the police, the fire services, the Southwest Regional Authority, and so on. They are going to be out in full force on the day. We are going to have parking attendants at the venue to assist persons coming to the venue for the first time. The LOC understands that this is a new venue. Patrons may not know how to get to the venue and so on. We are going to be putting ads, full-page ads in the papers this week to highlight where the venue is, what is the logistics in terms of getting to the venue, what are the parking arrangements at the venue, and so on.
And the 8th to the 14th, this week that we're in, is actually UN Road Safety Week. So I think it's a nice idea, a nice time for that to be happening. But before the ads go out, Give me a little idea in terms of, like, say it now. How do people get there? Where do they turn? How do they get inside of the venue?
Right. So if you're coming from north, you turn off on the bypass to get to the stadium. There is a road that runs north to south from the venue. What is going to happen there is that you turn south on the access road and access the venue. Patrons with tickets will be allowed to access the venue. You'll not be allowed to drive into the venue if you're not a ticketed patron. We understand, obviously, we have 1,800 car parking spaces at the venue. As I said previously, we're not going to be able to park everybody, so we're going to make sure that the congestion on that bypass road is limited. You're going to have the police traffic branch from on the highway. They're going to be directing persons coming to the venue where they need to go and what parking arrangements are in place. And
when you say bypass, this is road before the left that you turn to go
correct.
To Lincoln.
It's the Gasparilla bypass just after the flyover. A lot of persons make the mistake. They look for the Brian Lara Stadium by the lights. So they look for the mast lights for the stadium. But if you look to turn or look for a turning point by the mast lights, you'd have actually passed the turning point. There is signage on the highway that indicates where you need to turn off to get to the Brian Lara Stadium also.
Because originally I'm from Gasparilla, but at the same time, this piece of roadway and the work that has been done is kind of new to me.
Yes,
so I'm grateful for the information as well. Are people allowed to go in with items in terms of coolers, drinks, and if you're having drinks, glass bottles allowed?
So very good question. So the LOC has made the decision that we're not for this game going to allow any coolers, any oversized bags, any glass bottles in the venue. You have 20 concession booths at the patron level, and we're going to have full service bars and food catered at the concession level where you can pay for your beverages and food on the day.
Now, Kairon, we've spoken a lot about things that are happening before, how it is your parking, how it is your access, but cricket is going to be taking place. So what kind of cricket is going to be happening on the day in question?
So after the opening ceremony, it's going to be a T20 exhibition match. It's going to be a BRIANLARA 11 versus a international 11. And I want to encourage people to come out because it's going to be exciting.
Drop some names, man.
Well, what I would say is invitations have been extended to a lot of cricketing players that would have played with Brian, his contemporaries, both local, regional, and international. We would reveal, later this week. But as I said, I would like to encourage people to come out. It's really going to be a very good celebration of cricket, celebration of Brian, and an overall good time. We have taken a lot of measures to ensure that we recreate the party atmosphere and the enjoyment that surrounds T20 cricket and is an example of Trinidad and Tobago culture. It's also the opening of this facility, or what I'd say the grand opening. The TTCB would have had the event last week, and we are going to follow this week. For those who haven't been, it has a very nice atmosphere, especially at night. It's very breezy. You feel the cricket. So again, all of this to encourage persons to come out and really enjoy the game on Friday.
Now we've had people speaking about the facility for and against. Speak to the person who is still kind of listening to rumors that have been swirling about, or people who've been saying negative.
Sure. So I think last week this matter was properly ventilated in the media. I think he records technical people, which are the relevant authorities, to speak specifically on safety of the venue and so on, would have come out and said, I think he records chairman himself would have come out and said that the venue is safe. A lot of due diligence has been done on behalf of the LOC. So we've had, as I said before, fire services, Southwest Regional Authority, and the police, the requisite authority for security, doing their inspections on the buildings, making recommendations as to public safety and security on the day. We've done some testing and commissioning utilizing the T20 festival that just passed. It was an opportunity for the LOC to test systems at the facility and for recommendations to be made for the game coming. We are confident that based on the recommendations from fire, public safety is not going to be an issue on the day.
You speak about fire. Who are some of the other partners involved?
You're right. So we have the fire services, we have ODPM, we have the police, several branches of police, GEB, traffic branch, and so on. We have the Southwest Regional Authority. We also have the ambulance services. We have React providing communication on the day for us, because we know cell signal is an issue when you have thousands of people from the population gathered at the same time.
When I spend my $100 at any NLCB and buy my ticket, does that give me a specific seat, or do I need to come first come, first serve?
Good question again. So seating at the facility is first come, first serve. There is open seating at the venue. There is specially reserved seating for the VIP and special invited guests at the facility.
Now, you spoke about this first one, or this first event, coolers will not be allowed. How does that change?
Sure. So the local organizing committee, because this is our first event at the venue and we expect a near to capacity crowd, safety is paramount. It is the first time that the fire services, the police, the local authorities will have an opportunity to test the facility at capacity. We understand that coolers, the lime atmosphere is part of what the tradition of local cricket is, right? The LOC will sit in their post-mortem with the relevant authorities for public safety and design going forward what is going to be the mechanism to allow that cultural exchange to happen with the coolers, with the food and beverage and so on.
Can people who go to the event on the 12th give input into the LOC with that post-mortem? How do they contact you? How do they say, I liked this, I didn't like this, I think this could do with a little tweaking?
What we can do, that's a very good point. What we can do is we'll provide maybe an email where persons can give that feedback, because that will be key to us moving forward. You know, there would be some things that I'm sure could be changed. So we'll get back to you already where that is concerned, and then you could let your constituents know via the television.
And we look forward to that information, and we keep the communication lines open. What do you want going forward from this event?
Well, from this event, I think Kairon stressed on it earlier. What we want is participation from the general public. What we want is that realization and understanding that this project has been long in coming. What we want also is that realization is that this is a celebration of Brian Lara's legacy as a cricketer, and not only his legacy as a cricketer, but as a cultural ambassador and a sporting ambassador to Trinidad and Tobago. I don't think there are many persons that can say internationally that their face as a Trinidadian is as recognizable as Brian Lara. He has put Trinidad and Tobago on the map, and this is an opportunity for the public of Trinidad and Tobago to say thanks for that.
While he has put Trinidad and Tobago on the map, some people are arguing that, but you're forgetting the older ones. So I know one of the names that people were really calling was Larry Constantine, in terms of like how it is you divide and how it is you put names on stands and things. Is there a way that you're going forward with that?
Well, what I will say is that if you come to the Brian Lara Stadium, you'll realize there are several stands, several opportunities for merchandising, several booths. There's a full-service restaurant there. There are conference room spaces. There are also spaces where we are going to initiate the academy program, classroom spaces and so on. So in terms of naming of the legacy items and the legacy places in the facility, I think there is enough room and enough scope for it to be considered. It has not been totally ventilated at this time. I think going forward, a committee will be formed and they will sit and look at people's contribution in cricket and be able to really assign places and value. But rest assured, there are sufficient spaces in the venue for all our icons to be noticed. I think one of the recommendations we had coming out, honestly, was to have a museum at the facility that spoke to the history of cricket in Trinidad and Tobago.
And we continue this conversation. Anthony Blake, Kairon Serrette, thank you very much. Thank you for tuning in.